But one of the major things we try to do is kind of plant the water. So in planting the water, if you come with me here, we have 3 huge reservoirs. So this is 10 by 10 by 3. It just dried last month. As you can see, we have no tree coverage, so everything was evaporating. And this was from the little bit of rain that we got. We were able to finish the reservoirs just a day or two before the 2 weeks rain that we got, and everything we collected was either from here or we directed it from the road, because otherwise the road would flood, so we just took it and directed into here.
That's cool. Yeah. And did it fill up?
Well, it was kind of like maybe halfway. It didn't go all the way.
Yeah.
It didn't go all the way.
So 10 by 10 by.
Yeah. So we didn't line any of our reservoirs because we're trying to figure out which one would be the best to line. Because if we had lined it, we had good enough, we probably have still some water here.
Yeah.
So, but everything that we collected, we recharged.
Right.
So we're trying to figure out which one would be the best to line, and what would be the best option that's doable for most people, because as much as you can do the plastic, it's very expensive. It's, you know, but so how do we do it? So how does a regular person figure out how to plant the water, line, save? It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge, and it's really a challenge when I think about all the people we farm with or we help think about these things, because they wouldn't even be able to dig this. It would be a huge labor undertaking for the average farmer in Zambia. But if you've got the capital to do this, then you've got to think about how to fill it up. You've also got to consider how much is going to be stolen by the evaporation, because from now on to the end of when the rains come, you're going to lose about 30 centimeters a month just on evaporation on open water. So there's lots of things to consider. A plastic liner, they make pretty good plastic liners now, but people pinch them, as my son found out. But,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They make ideal, moisture proof when you're building a house. So people cut out big squares and then take them off and build a house on it.
Oh no.
And that's a bit disappointing, because it's hard to join up again and fix.
Yeah. So
then you go buy a whole new one. So yeah, that's one of the risks of doing the plastic one. If you do the concrete one, this is clay soil and it's going to shift a bit, and so you're going to have really good bricklayers to make sure it doesn't crack and start leaking, because a swimming pool is a very expensive item.
So we're thinking of ferrocement.
Yeah.
Because ferrocement is like the cheaper option. So it's labor intensive. Anyone can do it, but it's labor intensive, and because it has mesh,
metal frame,
some rebar, but it has wire mesh, like chicken wire, and also the 4mm, and then you plaster it.
Yeah. In some cases, I mean, the fish farmers are also doing a lot on this, because they're also having the same problem of how to dig a big fish pond cheaply without having to line it and without having to things. So choosing the right soil, having the right soil, and then having the right management, so that the silt starts filling it up over time, and it starts getting more and more waterproof.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting ducks, but we just don't have enough structures. Like if we get the ducks, and they over time.
I'm not an expert on this, but I think that there is a vast body of knowledge now with the fish farming industry, because so many people started digging fish ponds and then realized that it was very hard to actually keep the water in there. So there's actually very few circumstances where people got it right the first time, and then people have now learned what kind of aggregate you have to put in there so that it silts and seals naturally and cheaply.
Okay.
But I'm definitely not an expert on this.
So I mean, we're still figuring out. We had planted this is sweet potato and some cassava, just to kind of stop the erosion, because it was still after they dug it. So it's kind of a working work in progress.
Farm is a long work in progress.
Yeah, so this is our 3rd little reservoir here. So I don't know if I mentioned that they only dried up last month, even with no coverage.
Yeah.
So it's sandy soil for the most part, but I think there's a little clay too down there.
Well, I think we're in the dambo, and there's a dambo. We were arguing about this yesterday with people in Mumbai. Is a dambo a recharge area?
Yeah.
Does it recharge the
water table?
soil? It doesn't. A dambo is a hard pan with good soil on it because it can't go down. And the water you see is because it can't go down. Okay, so it's likely you'll be able to hold water here eventually, yeah. Because it's soil, you know, you got to be careful, as I said to my son, you got to be careful about punching through it. But a natural dambo is a pan. You can imagine a frying pan, a wok with a bit of soil on it, and all the stuff floating in there because it's at the bottom of the catchment, and so all your organic matter and all your soils
Stays.
drifting down there. So you've got this amazing healthy soil, but it's sitting on a pan, and under that is just nothing. It's not deep soil, and it's not an area where water would go down naturally, so there will be a place, a level where it will naturally
Hold on.
catch.
But you know, the funny thing, if you look at the cassava right next to, I don't know if it's because of we excavated, it's doing way better, but where it hardly gets that over there. This one gets more water, but this one right next to over here, for some reason is doing better than even with no water.
I mean, there's a. That's why I think you've got to plant plants all over your farm and then just observe. There'll be pockets of soil which are better. There'll be something like this happened. You're going to work it out. What happened here? I don't know. Maybe there is some
minerals that came up.
You know, 10 by 10. You got a whole bunch of cubic of manure you've put on there, right? And maybe some of it seeped off into the soil and it's made that soil a bit healthier.
Which is the first rule of permaculture, observation, right? But no, most of us
Absolutely.
don't. We're not patient enough to do the observation.
The basic principles here, but you've got to learn this farm so well that if I come here, I can't teach you anything because you will know it so well.
Yeah.
Because you've observed it and you've watched the patterns and the trends. The details don't really matter. As I say, if your soil compared to your soil and your neighbor's farm is moving in the right direction, that's all you need to know. At soil test, what are you going to add? You're going to add fertilizer?
No.
No. So what's the point of knowing how many, grams of this or that or the other? All you know is that the more biology you have, the darker it's going to get. And so it's how you're managing your plants, and you just want an idea that you're going in the right direction.
Okay.
So year by year you want to know, how did that smell this year? Smelled better than last year.